not insult them, not embarrass them, not debase them, not using derogatory statement on them. We must respect them for who they, for the position they hold. But that doesn't mean we should not set a correctional agenda for them.
Okay, we have a message on WhatsApp from Adigboyega Adediji. He says, "Good morning, Oizan Judge. Mr. Dugbemi is or was quick to refer to the former Senate President in person of Lawan as zombie, garbage in, garbage out, and also refer to another Senate President's tenure as chaotic and disloyal. What will he call Akpabio's Senate presidency, right? Mr. Alugobi is neither cold nor hot. I can as well call him Two-Faced. President Bola Tinubu is cleared, and we don't need anyone's interpretation to what he has said. The romance between Drop Your Mic Senate President and President Tinubu will not benefit Nigeria and Nigerians. It will only benefit the elites as long as the president continues to get access to borrowing through the permission and backing of the Senate, and the Senate president gets his own share. The romance between these lovebirds continue at the detriment of the nation." He continues to say, "God bless you, George. The people have representatives in the Senate. By the statement of Mr. President, it means he has been able to hijack the people's representatives. Or how would Mr. Odugbemi want Nigerians to hold their president accountable? It's the duty of the Senate to checkmate and speak the minds of those who they represent, and if they have been bought over, then the people have lost unless through other means by protest." And that reminds me, Mr. Odugbemi, I posted something a few weeks ago, and I'll keep saying it because it's very relevant, right? That our Senate need to go back to school to learn what their duties and responsibilities are. Would you say that they are really performing their duties and responsibilities? Mind you, knowing that the most, at least what we learned in school, right, is that for a good governance structure to really happen, there should be separation of power and checks and balances. Checks and balances is the executive, the legislature, the judiciary checking each other, ensuring that none of these arms go beyond what is constitutionally stated for them, right? They are not supposed to be whining and dining together. Of course, they are not to be at loggerheads, but at the same time, not intimating each other and literally unable to tell the difference amongst them. Would you say that our Senate, as it is right now, is really carrying out this function?
Thank you very much. Let me first thank my brother, Boyega. Boyega, you are my brother. Stop attacking your brother now. Let me be frank.
That's the loyalty you are talking about.
Yes, hold on. I appreciate my brother. I'm not against him. He has spoken his mind. I'm not against what he has just said. I am not cold. You understand? But I'm very diplomatic in my presentation. I did not support, I have not said support what Akpabio is doing. Remember, I said on this thing that Akpabio himself, is it right for him to be a senator? Because we knew what happened with the election of being senator. We knew what happened. Himself and Lawan, are they supposed to be there? So, we have established a kind of fraternity between them. I'm saying now that despite, and I've not said what they are doing is, if you look at it today, I've said it on this room, that even there are a lot of compromise and complicity. That even when you go through when they were talking about ministerial nominee, power and go, some of them could not even ask any meaningful technical question that will give us that the person has the required skill. I've said it. But I'm saying now that the mere fact that we established the fact that yes, there are romance between them, loyalty between them, that doesn't mean when we see compromises, when we observe level of compromises, we should not discuss about it.
So, having seen all of these that have played out so far, would you say, it's a yes or no question, would you say that they have performed their functions as constitutionally stated?
No, to raise up power too. Because of the complexity, it is obvious. Look at what, even during nominee, they have really shown impunity and lackadaisical attitude. And the mere fact that, even when doing the proceeding, you will see clearly. That's why I'm saying now that when we see that, does that mean we should all keep quiet? We should not keep quiet. Power belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to them. Yes. After all, they're doing constitutional review now. They're doing budget review now. Power belongs to people. I will make my own representation. I will even talk. I'm going to make my own representation because they're doing review, public review now. Power belongs to people. It doesn't belong to them. If you look at what they are doing, you will see now that this. Did you witness his birthday he did in Akwa Ibom? What he did from fear? If you witness how much money will have gone onto that, that will tell you the kind of person they are. When they are going, the kind of convoy they go, all those money, is it not our money? Is it his personal money? And we have established that, let's be frank, that things we cannot change now. We cannot decide who will be there. Because one, apart from the fact that you voted for them, the assembly caucus voted for him. And the influence of the executive also helped him. But does that mean we will leave everything to be flip-flopping without talking? We must talk. And we must talk what is germane. We will not attack them, or we will not establish status quo. That the status quo they are following will not help us. And it has not helped us anyway.
All right.
It's not because of our pressure they now release 109 million to people bringing. And I'm still asking for more. That is not just releasing your salary. They should come out with something sacrificial template that will show them that they are really do. They should rebase their lifestyle and what they do in accordance with the distressed economy.
From our public force, I mean.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Well, let's talk to some other listeners here. On Facebook, Oko Nandi says it's so ridiculous and laughable. We should not take the thoughtfulness serious. Oh, okay. And of course, we also have Dr. Mrs. Ima Oliver writing from Owerri, the Imo State capital, and she says this romance is most unwelcome and not in the interest of the masses. There should be separation of power, and majority of Nigerians are disgusted by what is going on. Right? And then she continues, the rubber stamp Senate is not ready to check the excesses of the executive and hold it accountable in the interest of the masses. So worrisome and unfortunate. Again, Mr. Dubini. If you look at the responsibilities of the National Assembly, since they are direct representatives of the people, direct at the center, the federal government, right? It's their direct responsibility to check the president. That's their primary.
To check the excesses.
Everything, whether excesses or,
well,
whatever.
Let's discuss right? Some issues.
So how come they are not doing as much as they should? Are they even doing it to start with? It does appear that they're doing their own.
Hold on. Let's talk. Let's open the can of worms now.
Please, by all means.
If you say there are excesses is born out of budget implementation. Who prepared the budget? Is it not the public servant? Is the public servant? Are they not the one that handle public appropriation? Every position you have, they have a laid down rules of engagement. They have a laid down rules as it relates to benefits, which they are doing. Let me be frank with you. Whatever they are doing now, they still follow the constitutional provision. Don't let us do it. But we are saying now that in going around your duties and responsibility, let us reflect the state of our economy. That's what we're saying. There's nothing they have done that is outside constitutional provision. Let me tell you.
So what you're saying in essence is that they are pandering or basically panel beating the constitution to suit their excesses, to basically cover what.
There's nothing like panel beating. If you actually listen to the review, what they said is they present estimates for review, and it's not only them that is reviewing. The public referendum, for instance, maybe the House of Rep actually introduced a public referendum, and they all make submission. Just as the Senate. What we're saying is, now that we've established that they said they are in romance, whether it's holy or unholy, what we need to do is, how does their alliances affect us? Where is it affecting us? For instance, they must have a cross alliance. They must have synergy. Yes, there must be respect. There must be loyalty among them. There must be a level of trust they can establish. But what we should do is that when we have whatever they are doing is in the public. We'll now look at it. Is it reflecting the current status, which you are saying is no? Let us talk about the area. And I've mentioned about 4.
Mr. Dugome, the only thing I will take from those words you used a few seconds ago is respect, right? Respect between, well, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. The others, well, not quite. Not for me. This is my own personal thing because respect enough.
So there should be no trust.
I respect your role. Trust,
They respect roles and responsibility. But what is it out of norm?
When you say trust, that simply means what you bring I should take. No,
No.
I will not take that.
You can trust my person. Remember, there are 2 things. You can trust the person, but doesn't mean you will trust everything that comes out of that person. That's why you have to review.
Then that means you don't really trust. But anyways,
there's nothing that is holistic. Trust is not 100% in life.
Well,
it's only trust in God that is 100%.
That conversation is also a matter for another day. But anyways, let's run through a few other comments.
You know I'm a pastor.
Speaking of talking, Collins is talking on WhatsApp and he says, our system does not permit equality of all Nigerian citizens before the law, which is the genesis of our economic, political, and social problems. Gallivanting and March tourism overseas by the president does not yield foreign direct investment. These investors are looking at cost of business operation and production and government's willingness to observe rule of law and obey court rulings, as well as independence of the judiciary without executive influence. High cost of governance and profligacy amongst all government officials will erode whatever gains we're making in revenue generation. IMF is advising us on the premise that subsidy removal will generate more money for government to spend for the masses. But in Nigeria, it means more money to steal by the political elites and their cronies. Mr. Odubemi, what is Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, headed by itself, headed by Sergei, still doing and financed by taxpayers' money? If Tinubu is serious with his renewed hope for Nigerians, INEC and the judiciary are the bodies to checkmate excesses and win at all cost of the desperate politicians.
Mr. Dugome, in 30 seconds, what's the way forward?
Well, the way forward is that I appreciate the fact that the public is now being agile. The agility in the public forum now is high. But we should push it beyond only mere talk. I appreciate the fact that the impunity that has been created, the recklessness we have observed, does not reflect our true situation. So we should continue to talk to the power that be, that whichever way you look at it, in as much as you are taking your benefits, you must reflect the current situation. Now we need more discipline and control at the highest level, because they cannot continue to live in opulence, and we the taxpayers' money, we are going thinner. My advice is that the public should rise up against what is not right with them. Also, we should hold people accountable at all levels, right from councillor up to senate, and we should continue to say what is right and what is just. And we should also make known every available fact and figure that shows high level of compromise. I appreciate that what is the trend, it falls below standard. I must confess to you, the lavishness, the recklessness, the impunity that is happening, I'm not sure. For instance,
we're out of time, I'm afraid. And
thank you.
We'll have to leave it at that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much.